So hi everyone. Today we're starting our launch 45. Hi. And if you're watching the recording, today is November 8th, and I have a girlfriend here from Florida. We met at Go Retreat. We were in the same bus and we started talking and crying.
It always makes me cry.
For 2 hours on the bus going from Idaho,
Spokane
to Salt Lake City. No, I don't know where we were.
St. Mary's Farm.
Yeah, okay. She's got the
Mary's
numbers.
Farm or something like that.
All right. So we became very good friends, and I love this how Young Living business helped us to meet new friends in our town and cross-line friends from Florida. And this is, I hope this for everyone as well.
Yeah.
So Charlotte and I have been talking nonstop since she came. She flew up from Florida last week to drive me down to Michigan. And then she drove me back to Derry, and she's flying back tomorrow to Florida. All right, so this is hashtag Chinese woman driver at the bus.
And it's my fault that your beauty school got canceled.
That's okay.
So you can blame it on me.
So during our car ride over the weekend, we've been talking. Like we bounce because we're cross line, so we talk. One thing, a word of advice is when you have things to talk about, don't talk to your downline. You could talk with your upline, that's fine, but don't go downline. You have to always show an example to the people below you. So cross line, you can just open everything. And throughout our car conversation, we realized about the personality and how important it is. And when we talk about personality, we did the test, we did the 14 days training that we have, we know what personality we are. But when we talk about that, we realize, oh, wow, we need to take it one step further. So that's why we're here today. So I'm going to pass the time to Charlotte, and I'm going to keep learning.
So tell me about what personality test did you have them take?
They have taken quite a lot. We have the animal one, we have the shapes, we have the color ones. I've never done the Danny Johnson's jams.
Yeah, I haven't either.
Okay.
So this weekend we're so blessed by all the speakers at Shannon Hudson's event. You can get to anything Shannon Hudson, I would go. Everything she does is top of the line. She always has great speakers. And we had Jim Bob Haggerton. I love Jim Bob. He's from Texas. I love him. He's awesome. And he talked a lot about personalities. And I spoke with him afterwards at length. And he said of all the personality things that are out there and available, he really, really likes Danny Johnson's gems. He feels like she has the most in-depth training. It really helps you to identify your husband, your children. You know, a blue child needs to be disciplined different than a red child, you know, and things like that. So, and then he said, you know, so you can apply everything we learn to our business, but to our personal life also. So I just wanted to throw that out there, that don't think that you have to get stuck in one shape. I'm only going to do the shapes. I'm only going to learn about shapes, because everybody has information that you can learn from. But one of the things that we were really talking about is, for those of us that are older, Kara Joy, you don't get to be older because you're so young. But go back to your relatives and ask them, what were you like growing up as a child? Because that's your true personality. The personality you maybe, so Jasmine and I, we are pretty sure that we were, as growing up, we were yellows. And I'm not sure the shape for the yellow. I haven't taught that in 2 years, so I couldn't find my notes to refresh my memory. So, but then through life circumstances and things that have happened along the way, we have had to change our personality to, sorry, I'm throwing the ball for Sky to entertain the puppy. We've had to change our personality to overcome situations, or to maybe you're a blue. And you know, blues, everybody wants a blue in their life because they know how to have fun. They can always have entertainment. But as a blue, and you want to grow a business, you have to learn to have some green or red traits, right? So maybe you have to become the person that is out of your comfort zone. so that you can be successful in what you're trying to do.
Right. So before we go on to that, why don't we share the screen on a little bit information on the green, the yellow, blue, and red first, just briefly, so that when we talk about it, you know what we're talking about.
So you're sharing it now? You're sharing your screen?
They can see my screen. You can see my screen, right? Yes? Yes?
Yeah. Okay. So you can see it says green and then yellow, and then down below is going to be red and blue. So this is a handout that you can post in a group or something somewhere in a file. So we don't have to memorize it, but just the greens, they're very organized, they're accurate, they're on time. Matter of fact, if the meeting starts at 7, they're there at 6:45. They don't like people that are late. They have lots of good strengths, and then they have some weaknesses. They are not the people that like to share their feelings. So we already knew right there, because we're crying on the bus and sharing all these life experiences with some complete stranger. We were not green because we were crying and things like that. So that's a lot of what they do. They're your researchers. So if you're a red, you have to learn how to treat a green in a class. So if you're standing up teaching a class, you have to kind of try to hit on all of the personalities. You want to teach all the personalities and not just one, because as a nurse, I love research, but I cannot go to a class and teach a bunch of blues research. They're not going to listen to me. So I have to learn how to educate a blue. So that's what you have to do. You have to just take this information and then go with it. There's lots of resources. There's free resources. You can buy books. You guys know Keenan, and he was really reading this book about personalities and trying to decide what he was and his dad was and his sister was. So we can't find the book. We think Keenan still has it.
I think he took it to school.
Yeah. So there's a book by Jacob Adamo, Adamo, and he does this red, blue, yellow, green color personality test. And so Kara Joy is doing an LSP order. So Kara Joy, one thing, you want to wait until the Black Friday or the Cyber Monday and see what their sales are going to be. But you can order the book from them to read more about this. The blues are your fun people. They like to, when you say, I need a volunteer, that first hand up is a blue. The last hand up is going to be a red. Okay, the reds are going to be your organizers. Your people who like, their playground is, some of those computer programs, and if you give them a gift, they like the gifts that are organizational tools and things like that. So my thing is, look at the strengths, but then look at the weaknesses, because you have to get better at your weaknesses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we want to bring to you a little bit more close to home that we can talk about personality. So we were talking a lot about our family. Bob is a true blue. Anyone disagree? Lift your hand. So what is a blue? Okay, here you go. You are a people magnet. People love you. You're energetic, enthusiastic, motivating, and convincing. You're creative. Your mind goes a mile a minute. You're a social animal. The life of the party. Number 1 on your list is to have fun. That's it. Okay. So Bob is true blue. I think he's always been blue. I get very frustrated because he doesn't plan things. We have everyone that says, oh, Bob, can you come and talk about the animals? Oh, yeah, I will do it, right? No problem. I'll drive 3 hours to go to your town to say that. But I already have a raindrop workshop planned at home. He won't look into the schedule. He won't plan it ahead. And he just say yes whenever someone needs something. Yes, 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 yes. So he's not a green. And then, I think we think he's yellow as well. Yellow. But yellow is you're really caring. You really, really have a heart for people. And I think he is that way. So he's a true blue. And red, no, he's not a red. Well, he can be red. He can be very organized, but not so much. He's true blue. For me, I was born When I was a child, when I was growing up, I've always been yellow. I would stand by the side to save earthworms. You know how sometimes the earthworm comes out from the ground and they will die. Seriously, they can't find the land. They're on the sidewalk, they will die. And I would pick them up and put them back into the dirt, make sure that they don't die. So I was born yellow. If someone needs something, I will give them everything. I was also a little bit of blue growing up. Like I like to have fun, I laugh, and my mind goes a miles a minute. When I was in the travel business, I became very green. I was very organized. Everything is broke down. I was very good with my Excel, all the prices and conversion.
More red than green. Huh?
Mm-hmm. But then what Charlotte told me that really shocked me was, because right now, if I would do any test, I have done many, many tests. And even Stacy feel that I am a very strong red. But I wasn't a red when I was growing up. I was only a red after my divorce. And tell them why.
Because in a divorce, in the situation that was going on, she had no control. She had no control over what that spouse was doing, what was happening to her, and things like that. So what is the red leader? That leader is the person that's in control. There were some situations at home that happened, and as we're discussing them, she said, I just don't want to. And I said, yeah, why? Because it wasn't your idea. So it wasn't your idea, you don't want to do it. Because remember, from the past, so we have healing to do. We have emotional healing to do. So no matter where we are in life, you've done a lot of emotional healing, right?
Still got lots more to do.
And we still got lots more. We got baggage in those bones, right? And so we got to just pull them out one at a time and deal with them. So I think that the next time that I spend a good quality time with you, I'm going to see less red and I'm going to see more yellow come out in Jasmine. So, and that's good.
Give him the ball.
Okay.
The ball. So the reason why we are doing this today instead of our usual lunch is I think this is very important for all of us who are business builders. I sometimes get frustrated because we have done this. I've told you, we have books, we have handbook, we have book orders, we have videos, we have everything. Why is this just not moving? But maybe that person is all yellow. She doesn't care about what book says what. She's all about caring, relax, in tune, and heart to heart, right? So then I get here frustrated because, oh, wow, let's go, because I have turned myself into a red, wanting to be in charge of my business, of my family life. I just had turned that. So then I became a slave driver. And then, like, Bob is so blue. He's the light of the family and the light of the business. But I'm like, oh, you're not doing this. You're not doing that. You're not doing this on time. You're not doing that. And just creates so much tension. And it brought a lot of light in my heart to see I should really step back and work on the emotional healing. Why have I pushed myself to be such a red when I'm really a yellow? So we're going to just, does everyone know the 4 colors? Do we need to go through each color? Do you want to go through it? Okay, why don't we go through each color? Like, not just reading it, but you want to do that? You do too, I do too. No,
Didn't we already do that?
We didn't finish the blue and the red.
No. Well, because they have the handout, they're going to be able to read it themselves. They already took the test. Do all of you know what you are? Can you unmute them? Maybe they can tell you what they are.
Okay, let's unmute. Let's stop here, and then unmute all. Okay.
All right. Do you know your color personality already, Debbie? Do you know yours?
Well, it depends. I did one personality test, and it said I'm a red. But going by that, I think I'm more green with a little bit of red.
Okay. Who's sitting next to you?
Sonia.
Sonia, what are you?
I don't know.
What?
I have no idea.
All right, you got to take the test.
Yeah, I have to take the test. I haven't taken it yet.
Okay. Who knows what they are?
I do.
Sharon, yes.
Janet said you're
Yeah,
yellow.
I'm mostly blue, but I have attributes and weaknesses in all four, but that's because I've been working on a lot of different areas. So
So do you feel
hopefully we get less and less in the weaknesses, but it's always, always working on that.
So do you feel like as you're working on it, maybe your personality is changing? You know,
It well, I teach on this. I teach sanguine, phlegmatic, and choleric and melancholy. So I am highly aware of the strengths and weaknesses of the four areas, and the colors pretty much match that as well.
So maybe the next class you can teach is going to be how to teach different personalities that are different than you. That'd be a good topic. We can get Sharon.
Yeah, when I'm teaching, I'm trying to always, and I also keep in mind about auditory, kinesthetic, and visual learners as well, so that we can have something that will appeal and be able to be digestible to all different types of processing. So it's a great subject, and I'm really glad you're speaking about it today.
Yeah, and I think that's great, Sharon. Definitely, I think you're going to be able to give everybody more insight. So Sharon sounds like she might be an expert in the field. So you guys remember that, because when you have a question about it, obviously Jasmine's still working on learning, but you can call Sharon and get her to, So that's the best part about this, is that we're not all experts in everything.
No.
So, find out who's good at what and grab their knowledge.
I think it really benefits personal lives and also business life tremendously, to know how to deal with each person and how they process, what appeals to them, and what motivates them.
And I think a lot of that too is have most of you heard about love languages?
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Learning how to speak love. Like if somebody's love language is words of affirmation, but they never get them, then they never feel loved and appreciated. And if your gift is acts of service, and you always think, why don't they appreciate the clothes that I wash and the food that I cook? Because you're not speaking to their love language, and they're not speaking to yours, so it's important. Sorry, guys. So I think Sharon's going to be your expert. She is. So everybody go to Sharon for your questions.
But I think as a team, we could figure out a few things very easily.
Yeah. Anybody else? Yours? All right.
I know that I'm a yellow.
Who are you?
Patricia.
Oh, hi. Oh, there's more people? Oh, hi.
Patricia has a sexy voice today, a husky voice.
I know.
You girls must have had her laughing, talking too much last night.
Oh, yeah, she was wild last night.
So Patricia, do you feel like you've always been a yellow, or do you feel like maybe from life experiences, you've cloned into a yellow?
I was very, very introverted as a child, and I'm more yellow than I want to be, but I've pretty much always been a yellow, yes.
But,
Me.
Sorry, Sharon, you're saying something? No? Patricia our personality do change. You know that, right? So ultimately, when we are all Royal Crown Diamond, we can be blue. You can afford to be blue. We cannot care. But the one thing about this, when we talk about personal development is this journey with Young Living Business really takes us to each stage where we become a rounded person, a well-rounded person. Growing up, I'm going to mute everyone because I think someone is, yeah, here you go. Now you can hear better. Growing up, I grew up in the church, right? There always the pastor who is really old and he's preaching. And then he will have a wife with all the hair like curly, and she's like proper with a pin. And she will sit really, really nice in the front row, listening to her husband preach. And I always sat in the back row and I thought, holy smoke, she is so proper. How did she show up that proper, right? So then I realized this is just an example of how is the journey that one day we will show up like proper, nothing will shock us. We don't jump around and get excited and angry at a downline who doesn't do care calls, or when someone's shipment is what's that called? Screwed up. You don't call your upline and start screaming. Like, you just calm down and you have all the right word to say, and you're always so loving and you're always so generous.
That's you already.
Already? Okay, I'm done. So we could actually get there. We're going to, I'm open up the mic in a few minutes. But I posted a sneak peek this morning on Facebook. I think that's why you're here. It's the green, red, yellow, and blue. So just think of it, okay? You're going to laugh. There are people here that love numbers. Who was it that asked? I think it was Mariana. She asked about some like, how many milliliter is a drop of oil? Did she ask that? She asked that, remember? You asked that, right? How many milliliter is in a drop of oil? Like, seriously? I don't know.
You have to measure it.
So and then I realized she's an auditor. She was an auditor. I was like, oh my goodness, I can't believe I'm working with an auditor.
I don't get the how many milliliters. I get the how many milligrams of progesterone are in a drop of Progestins Plus. And I'm like, I don't know. You can't take too much. Just use it.
She's a yellow.
Just use it.
So that's the green. People who are the green are very, very well prepared. They cannot do things. I'm not talking about you being green, Mariana. I'm just talking in general, the green. They cannot be impromptu without a script to come out and just talk. They have to prepare a few hours. They have to have the slide. They have to know exactly step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. Right? Do you agree? They're always on time with everything ready. And it's like 7 o'clock. Where's everyone? Where's everyone? And they always look put together, very organized. And they like numbers. Okay? You can't say something that's, oh yeah, the book say, what book? Who is the author? What page? What is that? So that's green. If you have a green person sitting in your class or in your team, you want to talk their language. So for someone who is a blue, will find it extremely difficult working with a green. It's like, what do you mean, what number? I don't know what number. What do you mean you want a script? Just talk. I was like that when I first started. Everyone asked me for a script. I was like, no script. Like, look at this. We have no script here. Not even a note. We're just talking. So a green person we are going to drive the green person crazy right now. We are driving the green person crazy. Like, they're all over the place. But the yellow and the blue are like, oh yeah, wow, look at them. They're what a great team. They're talking so much. Oh wow, right here, right here. So that's green. When you deal with a red personality, they are competitive. Okay? When there is a contest going, they are the first one who sign up. Well, I'm not competitive.
She's the one that wins all the cruises.
I didn't even sign up. I didn't even know how I won the cruise. The problem is I'm not green enough to figure out
the points. I know, I need greens in my life. Just tell me how to win.
Yeah, I didn't even know how I win. That we have to put it aside. So maybe one of these green people can figure out why I won the cruise. So the red personality are leaders. I have turned myself into a red in the last few years. I think mainly because I didn't realize Pew Census is going to grow so fast. And then I realized, oh my goodness, every word that I say, I have to be careful what I say. Suddenly became a leader without knowing it. For those of you who've been with me for 3 years, you know how disorganized I was in the beginning. Who is here from the beginning? Not a lot. Let me see. Oh gosh, you guys are new, man. Talk to Kristen, okay? Talk to Lori. Oh my goodness. Lori is not, she's proper. Kristen is proper too. I drove them crazy. I'm always late. And then I have all these excuses of the traffic being bad. I'm going from my house to Kristen's house, there's traffic. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
no.
but over the last few years, I have turned myself into red and I've become very, very red. Like right now, I am all red. So I feel that it's like, you know, those balls that, what's it called? That go back and forth.
Yeah.
Newton's cradle. It's called Newton's cradle.
Okay, can't pronounce that word. Whatever that is. Okay. Pendulum. Yes, or whatever cradle thing. So I feel that our personality is you drop it. It goes from one end to another as you grow through life. And when we talk about this 4 years career plan, it is that for our personality too. And then finally we'll become this prim and proper, calm,
So on the
organized.
shapes, you know, on the shapes, we have the squiggle.
Yep.
And we have the square and
Yeah.
the rectangle.
And the circle.
And the circle. So when we were at convention learning about that,
Mm-hmm.
one of my teammates is very blue. Very blue. She drives me crazy. And I drive her crazy. But we love each other to death. Like just, you know, great friends. And so we said, hey, why don't we become an ice cream cone? Because then we can hold the triangle, right? And we can have the green, the circle, and we can have the squiggly, and we can have like, you know, the little wafer cookie could be our rectangle. So we can have the ice cream cone. So become an ice cream cone so that you can be a little bit of everything.
Correct. That's right. And I think ultimately, when we become higher up in our rank or in life, become more mature, we will be that. And I want to be that.
I think as we deal with our emotional past and we can get through some of our hang-ups. So this weekend we did a new technique that we're still investigating.
Yep.
We're not sure that we like that. But we went through an exercise at the talk at Shannon's, and we were supposed to set a goal that was maybe unrealistic, and then we were supposed to try to figure out what are the negativity words that are keeping us from doing that. And so because I had a divorce, oh, don't make me cry. I had a divorce.
I didn't even say a word. How am I going to make you cry?
So
I want to just interject something. I've been working with Dr. Perkis since convention
okay.
on this. So I was going to talk to you guys about that. Jasmine, anyway. So I've been taking people through the aroma freedom technique and using it on myself and with some of my downline and having great results. So I'll mute now.
Can you come over about 3:30 and we can all talk?
Yeah. I'd like to talk to you about that because we're just investigating.
We're still in the investigation and because, you know, Jasmine has a very large team, probably almost twice the size of mine. And people listen to what we say. So we have to be very careful when we introduce new things. We have to really investigate. So Sharon would definitely love to speak with you more about that. Okay.
So let's go back to this. We have 10 minutes. I want to finish 2 more colors. The yellow. The yellow color is someone who is focused on service. You want to scan people with ITOVI everywhere you go. You want to give them raindrop. It's one-on-one or you have problem overcome. So that's the heart of a yellow. I want to be able to be available all day long and just talk to one person at a time. This is my heart desire. One day when I'm Royal Crown Diamond, no problem. I'm a secretary to do all the posts. Okay?
But the yellows are also the ones who forget to take care of themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And they can get beat down and they can get exhausted. And when they become exhausted, they become not so fun to be with. They need lots of joy. Lots of joy.
Yeah.
So we have to always constantly remind ourselves that we are important and we need to be taken care of. So remember I said last night, you are worth Neroli. You are worth Rose. You are worth Melissa.
Then the blue personality are the people who love gathering. Bob loves gathering. He wants people over all the time. And when you come over, he always feed you. He makes you feel warm and fuzzy, and he's always there. And this is him. He loves that. So people who are blue loves to do make and take. Okay, they can do party just like that. For the green personality, they have to plan all week to do one party.
But the blue will do a make and take, and then they'll be the ones at the last minute saying, does anybody have any bottles? Because I don't have any bottles. Does anybody have this? So a blue really needs to partner with a red
Or the green.
or the green, so that they can have all these fun ideas, but then they also have somebody who's backing them up and helping them to remind themselves, oh, you need to order bottles, you need to order lipstick tubes, or, what do you call those, chapsticks?
Yeah.
Deodorant tubes, bar things.
Mhm.
So that's why you have to kind of find out who your friends are and what colors they are, and then partner with maybe somebody who's your strengths and weaknesses can, just like in a marriage, right? Just like in a friendship, you usually find that opposites attract. So find somebody else who's doing business building and build with them together collaboratively, so that you can be beneficial to each other.
So I'm going to open up the mic right now, okay? I think someone has like a fan blowing on you.
Could be somebody driving in a car. Could be car noise.
If you're in the car, you need to mute yourself. All right. So I want to bring the last 5 minutes to some practical things, okay? A lot of us, we are forced to a personality that we're not our true self. That's why you're stressed out. For example, I'm not a true red. I stress myself out to be organized. I do. You should see how much time I spend so that I'm not all over the place, a squirrel, a blue who is disorganized. Spend a lot of time putting spreadsheet together that I'm not green when I was in the travel industry because I needed those data for my clients. But it was a lot of efforts. Just like a green person to try to become a blue. A green person who is very, very organized, you ask them to go on stage to talk about something without a script, that will totally flip them off. Like they will go, whoa, they're going to have heart attack, they're going to have constipation, they're going to, like, knees are shaking. You put a blue out, they're going to be the party of the whole crowd and everything is hoo-ha. So bring it closer to home is, are you stuck with your life or your business? Think of a scenario, think of a people that you are stuck right now that you don't really know what to do. Maybe look further into their personality. Is it because of a personality crash? Because the way they see things and they do things, like Bob and I, the way he sees things, Bob is blue and yellow. He loves people, he wants people, he likes people, he excels in that. I am a different person. I need my own. When people are in my house all the time, I get really frustrated. But Bob loves it, so he keep bringing people over. So are you stuck in your business with a downline that has always whining? Or you give her all the script and everything that you can know of, but she still doesn't know what to do? Are you stuck that way? No? You're not stuck? Sometimes. I suggest that you take some time and think about where you are right now with your personality. And if there is a big problem you're facing with certain person, think of that person's personality. Do the task, get to know each other. And now when I talk to Bob, with the help of Charlotte showing me, I really need to talk the blue language. So now I'm going to talk to him in the blue language. Instead of first thing he does in the morning, he makes breakfast because it's act of service. He loves to serve. He loves to please. For me, I'm like, okay, I got to get the kids to school. I got to run out that. I don't have time to sit down for breakfast. Why are you spending all this time doing this? Blah, 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 blah. Because I'm so red right now. I'm focused. So we crash. If I take a second and say, oh, thank you so much. This is delicious. Can I have it to go so that I can, So that really helps. As you look at all the big events that we have done, my main helpers are Bob, Kristen, and Lori, and me, right? Do you notice that? They're always most of the time, in the last couple of years, there's 4 of us. If you look at the 4 of, we just kind of gelled together not planned. Okay? Lori is very organized. She's very organized. She's very organized. She labeled everything. I'm like, I labeled it, but I don't remember where I put it. I put the label somewhere else. It's not on the jar. And Kristen is also very organized, right? Bob is the blue, and I'm the red and the yellow. And when we do you know that the last event that we put together for 100 people, we only met for an hour. 1 hour. We sat down and we met. It was less than an hour, actually. We were rushing. And we put it off. With, of course, all the helpers that helped and all the leaders that were helping the volunteers as well. So when you look into your team, when you're building your team, it could be long distance, it could be in town. I work with the Malaysian team as well, and I can identify the strength, and I work with them that way. It's funny because I didn't really know too much. I know a little bit, but I'm not like you know so much. I kind of like attracted with all these different personality when I know I need a perfection. All these people, I'm just attracted because, okay, I can't get the name tag down because to print it on the printer, I don't know how to figure out all the squares and the centimeters and the shapes or whatever. So I get Lori or I get Debbie. Debbie, how do you do this? Debbie is very green, okay? She's like a librarian. She has everything listed down.
Oh, she could come to my house in Florida.
Oh yeah, you're invited to Florida, Debbie.
You could just see my house. It's not, it doesn't look like that of a green.
Because you're yellow at home. You're yellow at home. This why like life pushes us to different part of personality. Our ultimate goal is a rainbow or a cone, or ice cream cone, or a rainbow. So I hope this Zoom today will encourage all of us. For me, I need to do some emotional healing because I have forced myself into the red as red can be because I want control because I lost control a few years ago. So that is going to bring me back to who I really am, but well-rounded because I already know how a red is. I can be red and yellow and blue and green, all well-rounded. So I hope tonight you bring out your journal. Write down some of the things, the fears. If you're a green, you're afraid of talking in front of people. Write down some of the fears. Work through this. Do the personality test and get ahead of yourself. So the next time when you have a disagreement with your spouse, your children, or your business partner, or your downlines, uplines, then you think, okay, Jasmine is just blue. She didn't realize, she didn't write my name down for the book, although she took my money. So you're not upset with your upline. I'm just throwing out there.
But so you remember that the toy that some of us older people might have had?
Oh,
where it was the paper that spinned around, and you would drop a drop, and then you would get this really wild color. So if you have yellow and blue and red and green on the paper, and then you spin it, how the colors will kind of run together. So that's what so if you can't be an ice cream cone, think of tie-dye. You want to be a little bit tie-dyed in your life because then you can be more balanced and more flexible. If you're reds don't like to be flexible. You have to be flexible.
My way or the highway?
My way or the highway. So they have to learn. It's okay. Your idea isn't always the best.
No, mine is the best.
No. So just remember, and then if you look into Danny Johnson's gems, it's called gems, like gemstones. They have I just Googled it before we came down here, and I was reading, one girl has a really good blog post on it, but they have things where you can take the test and see what gemstone you are. Jim Bob Haggerton, when I talked to him, said he felt like Danny Johnson had the very best in-depth training on the gems.
Maybe I will post the link afterwards.
But it's inexpensive. It's an investment.
Yeah.
To buy it and listen to it over and over. And maybe I guess Danny teaches that you're not supposed to share when you buy it. I don't know, because I can never get anybody to share with me. So to buy the whole program has been weighing on my mind. I want to because I want to learn more, but is it the best business investment with my money and my time right now? So, you always want to be doing income producing activity. So you have to think about, do I have the money and the time to invest in this in a totally different like Sharon's probably not going to want to do that because she already does the sanguine and the phlegmatic and things like that.
That's old school.
And it works for her.
That's old school. I learned that when I was a kid.
Yeah, but it
Nobody
works.
talk about it right now.
And the beaver and all that,
Yeah.
that was a long time too. So
Yeah.
you have to make the choice of which system you want to follow and go with it.
Yeah. So again,
They all tie into the same concepts, and the color ones are almost directly. You could put the template on top of the other ones. The other terms are just the psychological terms. So
Steve Brill has a list that writes the yellow, the all the colors and the shapes and the personality all in one.
yes.
In her
So
book.
no,
It's
she has a
really, I do the business teaching as well. Before I got involved with oils, would tell people how, or educate them on how to develop their areas of weakness, overcome them, normally from a Christian point of view, but it's doable in the secular realm as well, and then help them to be prepared for the type of business that would be best for them, the type of employment as well, so that they weren't getting burnt out in what they were doing. And so it really translates well into the Young Living business, because the Young Living business has so much flexibility where you can work as in teams, work with your strengths and work with other people's strengths, and really have a beautiful product at the end, because everybody is moving forward and everybody is accomplishing and becoming more financially stable, and it's a great synergy that can be had.
Yeah. So I hope everyone will embrace this lifestyle, not just your OGV, not just your leg. Look into the personality, and then we can grow from there. All right. I'm going to stop the recording.